Climbing lines, as opposed to rigging lines, are obviously intended to hold a person. So you're talking, you know, geez, real big guy with a heavy saw, what, 400 pounds, you know? As opposed to a rigging line, which might have to catch 1,500 pound tops, withstand heavy shock loading, tremendous amounts of abrasion. Climbing lines are much lighter duty products. That's why they're not for rigging. And a lot of us use them for rigging in spite of that. You know, if you own a Ferrari, it might tow your 10,000 pound trailer, but when the clutch burns out, it's not because it's a defect in the line, you know? So these little climbing lines are sort of the sports cars of rope. They're designed to be supple and flexible enough so that if you use the end of your line to tie your friction hitch with, taut line or a Blake's hitch, they can make those sharp bend radiuses. Rigging lines, like a hard lay 3-strand like this, just too stiff and rigid to do that. So that's one feature of climbing lines. Climbing lines also have to be at least 5,400 pounds, you know, to meet the ANSI standard. The reason we use such a high standard is not because we ever think we're going to be applying that much weight to the line. It's because the lines lose strength through abrasion over time. And you're better if you start high than if you start low, because over time the strength goes down. This one here at 5,600 pounds is the weakest climbing line that we sell. Just barely meets the standards. This is called Blaze. This is made by Yale Cordage. Now this is a 7/16 diameter. Yeah?
Yes, of course.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure, sorry.
I was going to say, is there any rule of thumb for how the degradation of the strength of the line over a period of time?
There is. And it's kind of a sort of a joke and sort of not. At Westford, it's a running joke, but you know, people ask us a lot of the time, you know, how long does a rope last? How do I know when to retire? And the punchline to the joke goes, nobody knows because everybody who's found out is dead. Right. So it's in one sense it's funny, but in the other sense it's true. The only way to really find out how long a rope would last is to use it in real-world application conditions until it breaks, which would kill you. So nobody does that. We don't know. I replace my lines on average every year to year and a half, and if I climb 2, 3, maybe 4 days a week at most. So I hardly ever use a friction saver. So I'm just got the abrasion of the natural approach scenario almost all the time. It's these lines being polyester are designed to withstand that sort of thing. One reason why we use the constructions that we do, because they can withstand that fairly well. And we start with high enough braking strengths that over time, if you happen to lose, say, half of the strength through abrasion, you're probably still going to be okay. But I emphasize the word probably. The bottom line is if you're starting to get nervous about your rope, it's time to replace it.
Is there any